Hello children. Over the next few days we are going to try and retell the story of Chris as a young boy and how he used to play in his rocket and he went to next door to see the moon landing, how exciting it was. So let's start with this picture. Do you remember what he was like when he was a boy? What did he like to play? He liked to pretend that he was an astronaut, didn't he? And he played in his rocket. Okay, so let's just pop this out of the way for a minute and get some paper. So you need a paper and a pen or pencil. And you might want to have the word bank printed out as well with some extra bits in. Let's have another little look at this. So he's in his rocket and he's playing and he's got his dog as well, hasn't he? Okay, so we could say something like he played in his rocket, or he liked to be an astronaut, or he pretended to be an astronaut. But we probably need a good sentence starter, like when he was a boy, or when Chris was young, something like that. Okay, I think I'm going to go with when Chris was young. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to tilt the camera. We've been practicing our capitals recently, haven't we? And where do we have to start? That's right. If you want to, you can even draw yourself a little tree in your margin like that so you remember that our W starts right up here. All our capitals start at Brave Monkey, don't they? When is a funny, tricky word, isn't it? There are different ways to remember it. You might remember it like this, when. That's quite an easy way to remember it. When Chris. Now, Chris is a tricky word to spell, so you can use the word bank if you need to. Was. When Chris was a boy. Oi toy for a boy. When Chris was a boy, and I'm going to put a little mark in there like that. Do you know what that's called? It's called a comma. And writers use commas when they want to break their sentence up a little bit. So sometimes when you've used a sentence starter, you might need a little comma. When Chris was a boy, he liked to play in his rocket. I think I'm going to write that. Now we wrote the word liked yesterday. Do you remember how to spell it? Which I was it? That's right, it was I split E, wasn't it? He liked to play in his rocket. Oh. Can you remember which k we need? We need both, don't we? The C and the K. Rock it. When Chris was a boy, he liked to play in his rocket. Full stop. Now you can stop there. Or, if you've got a bit of time, you could add an extra sentence. Now, could we use one of those exciting words from yesterday? So rather than he went to the moon, what could we do? So pause video now and think of a more exciting verb for went. Okay, we could have zoomed, zipped, whizzed, rocketed, but we've already used the word rocket. I think I'm going to do zoom. When Chris was a boy, he liked to play in his rocket. He zoomed. Where did he zoom to? He zoomed to the moon. He zoomed to the moon with his dog. Do you remember what the dog was called? Albert, that's right. His dog. Does Albert need a capital letter? Yes, why? Because it's his name, that's right. Albert. Full stop. Right, it's always a good idea to read your sentence through and make sure it makes sense and you've got everything you need. So let's have a check. Have I got my capital letter? Yes. He zoomed to the moon with his dog Albert, and we've got our capital letter there, and we've got a full stop. Let's read the whole thing. I've got my capital letter here. When Chris was a boy, he liked to play in his rocket. Full stop. He zoomed to the moon with his dog, Albert. Okay, fantastic. Now, what I want you to do when you've done that, I want you to keep this really safe, because on Monday, we're going to come back to this and we're going to write the next bit of the story. Okay? Now, you might change yours a little bit. You might have a different verb instead of zoomed, and he might not go to the moon. He might go into space. Or you might say he raced around his kitchen pretending he was in a rocket. And you might have a different sentence starter. So have a look at the word bank that I've made for you, because there's lots of ideas on there. But if you could write 2 sentences, that would be really fantastic. And then we're going to save them for Monday, and we're going to add some more. We're going to stack all our sentences up to make a story. Okay, good luck.